Hello and welcome. I'm glad to be here with you today. We're going to be talking about some of my best tips on how to manage your energy with your coaching clients so that you don't burn out. And I realized one of the reasons that I love bringing topics like this to you is because, there's such a constant push about marketing. Everywhere you turn, everybody is pushing you about marketing. And I think though that, obviously it has a place. I teach marketing as well. But I think if you don't know how to run your coaching, sorry, I'm having a little sleeve issue here. If you don't know how to run your coaching business, then you're not going to have the confidence to market because you're not going to feel like you have the back end taken care of. It's like you don't always know what you're going to do with clients or how to manage them. So I love focusing on what I call business best practices like these so that you can get a real sense of confidence that you have a solid business, it's organized, it's set up, it's and gives you that strength and that confidence to be able to go out and do your best with your marketing. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is a little bit about what makes you so beautifully beautifully qualified to be a coach, which is being incredibly empathetic, being really sensitive to other people's feelings and their energy. Those are amazing qualities to have. And I think those are qualities that really make somebody an incredible coach, and specifically a soulful business coach, which is what I certify and teach women how to be. So those are great qualities, but at the same time, those qualities can actually unknowingly get in your way hang on a second, I'm having a little computer problem here with my live. All right. They can unknowingly get in your way and unknowingly cause you to make some mistakes. Mistakes like over delivering, which is where you just give too much too often, or a mistake of over coaching. And to me, how I describe over coaching is when your sessions go too long. And I'm going to speak to that in just a moment. It can cause you to unknowingly be overly responsible for your clients, really take on too much responsibility. I know that's what was an issue for me when I was first starting out in my coaching business. I felt responsible for every little thing for my clients, their successes, their failures, their whatevers. I felt responsible for it. And it's not first of all, it's not your responsibility. And second of all, it's not a good way for you to be able to thrive in your business because it's going to cause you to feel drained. All right, and that's, I think, a really important piece here is that if you don't solve these problems, then you can start to feel drained and not thrive in your coaching business. So I'm going to solve this for you here today so that you can feel free and confident to bring on new clients, to do the marketing that you're supposed to do, and to know that you have this part of your business really well handled. All right, so if you're new to me, my name is Kendall SummerHawk. I am the creative founder of the #1 certified soulful business and money coach training school for women. My vision is to empower you to create a lucrative, soulful business that you absolutely love, that you're 100% in love with. And my passion is helping you own your worth without apology and making significant income in your coaching business as a result. Now, so we're talking today about my top tips for managing your energy so with your coaching clients so that you don't burn out. And I have to be honest with you, when I was preparing this, I kept it to 3 tips, which I'll share with you in a second. And I realized there's a whole other set of tips that I could share with you about energy management. And I'll do that in a different Facebook Live with you in the next couple weeks. All right, so for now, though, let me give you these top tips because they're actionable for you right now, and they're going to help you even if you're brand new. You haven't even signed on your first client yet. What I'm going to share with you here today gives you that structure, that framework that gives you the confidence to bring on new clients because you know what you're signing them into. And if you've been coaching for a while, then this is going to help you maybe, clean up some habits that you might have fallen into that you're clear aren't serving you. All right, so tip number 1 for managing your energy so you don't get burned out with clients. Do not blame yourself. This is tip number 1. Do not blame yourself if you have a draining client However, you definitely want to nip this situation in the bud, okay? Now, clients can be draining outside of your coaching sessions together, and that happens, and I'm going to explain the difference between being draining outside and inside. So outside of your coaching sessions, in other words, when you're not actually coaching them, they can be draining because you don't have really clear boundaries that you have set about when you are available. And I see a lot of coaches making this mistake. They're available whenever, kind of 24/7. It's like there's no rule, there's no parameter around this, there's no structure around this. This is a huge mistake, and it's super draining. So when you first start working with a client, you want to let them know when you are available, and you also want to let them know how you want to be contacted. Something to keep in mind is that you can be totally there for your clients, but it doesn't mean you have to be available 24/7. So for example, what I go through when I've signed on clients is I let them know, and it's a little different now than it used to be. When I was first started out coaching, I had a very set number of coaching sessions, and that I gave them. And now we still have a set number, but I also let them know I'm available to them in an unlimited capacity for my diamond clients. Now, I want you to notice something though. Unlimited does not mean 24/7. Those two things are not the same thing to me. And the distinction is this. Unlimited means that I'm not going to count their sessions, and if they exceed their number of sessions, cut them off. That's not what I do with my diamond clients, and I've run it this way for a really long time. So unlimited means that we get the regular scheduled coaching sessions plus more. They can call me, they can send me an email when they need quick help. It's just not a big deal, and I welcome and encourage it. In the early days of running my business, I've been in business almost 18 years. August will be my 18th year in this coaching business. So in the early days, it was a set number of sessions, and I still actually encouraged contact in between sessions. So I've always leaned towards that. But here's the deal. Here's what I've done is I let them know which days of the week. So for example, Mondays and Fridays are not available. I tell them, you're welcome to reach out to me on Monday and Friday, but I cannot guarantee that I'll be available. And I tell them why. Mondays, I'm basically, it's because I'm not at my desk working. I'm doing other things, or I'm working on my business. If I'm there, I'm going to answer them, but because my clients are really important to me, but I can't guarantee that I'll be there. So there's some other rules around availability that I go through with them. And one of them too, you'll appreciate, is I always tell them, when you email me, don't send me a book. Don't write this huge long email. I'm not going to read it. It's too much for me to take in. It's just not how I'm going to be able to support you in an ideal way. So I need you to be really concise and chunk it down for me. So I tell them what the rule is. I tell them why it's not going to allow me to show up fully for them. And they get that. And I've really never had anybody abuse it. Now clients, so tip number one is kind of a two-part thing, is that you definitely want to nip this in the bud. So the way to do that is to, number one, be very clear with your clients coming on board what the rules are. Now clients can also be draining inside of your coaching sessions. And for me, that's going to look different for different people, but for me, I find it draining when clients jump around a lot. That's like they're just jumping around a lot within a session, and from session to session, they're jumping around a lot. Or they don't get anything accomplished, and usually then what follows is a lot of excuses. So I find that personally draining because I'm someone who's very achievement-oriented. I'm really ambitious, and I believe in honoring what we say we're going to do by doing it. So one solution to this is to charge more for your coaching. If you are undercharging, you're going to tend to attract clients who are not as motivated. They're not as ambitious. They're not taking it as seriously as they should. So this is definitely, you want to look at what you're charging. Another solution, and I love this, is to be a leader inside of your coaching sessions. And this is what I teach. I teach the charging more to our certified coach training students, but I also teach them how to be a leader inside of that coaching session. And what being a leader inside of a coaching session means is that you are setting the direction with your client. So you're not always doing it for them, but you are taking the lead. You are not relying on them to tell you where you're going to go in that session or from session to session. That's a recipe for disaster. So it means you're setting the direction with your client, and you're setting that direction towards what they want to achieve so that you both have a clear destination that, to make the coaching have context and to make it be congruent. So that's what you're working on together. Now, what happens if they come to a session and they start jumping around a lot or making excuses? Well, you can coach on this. This is something to coach on. And I think this is a really important thing to understand. You don't have to put up with it. You do not have to put up with clients not showing up fully in the way that you want them to show up. It is okay to have expectations. And I realize that's not always the spiritual way, but it's a soulful way. It's okay to have expectations. It's your business. You get to set the rules. So it's okay to have this expectation that clients show up. They show up prepared. Do they sometimes not? Of course, they're human. But it's okay to have the expectation that they want to achieve something. That's why they're hiring you as a coach, and specifically as a soulful business coach. So I really believe you coach on it, because that's, being a soulful business coach isn't telling somebody what to do all the time. It is helping them get over their crap. It's helping them, break free of some bad habits that aren't supporting or serving them. So for example, let's say somebody shows up to a session with me and I'm noticing it maybe this has happened 2 times in a row. It's happened a couple of times within our coaching session. They're jumping around a lot. And I've had clients like this where they want to do this and they want to do that, then they want to do this other thing, and it just feels really chaotic. So what I do is, here's how I address it, because this is something to coach on, right? So what I'll say is something like, I see that you're wanting to change direction or get involved with some other things than we've talked about before. And that could be awesome. It could be great, or it could actually be a distraction. So let's talk about this for just a moment, okay? And let's see what it means to go after these other things. Let's see what it means in terms of the impact on the priority that you want, which is XYZ, whatever their priority is. All right, so you see how I brought that up, not in a judgmental or blamey way. It's all fine. But as their coach, it's my job to reflect what I'm seeing that they can't see for themselves. All right, tip number 2. If you are a giver, means you're also probably a people pleaser. But if you're a giver, it is tempting to over-deliver and or over-coach. So what this looks like that I want to address here today is that your sessions go too long. How long is too long? I think 30 minutes is plenty. Sometimes I go 45 minutes with my diamond clients for particular reasons, and I have availability and it's fine and they appreciate it. But they understand that the structure of the sessions are 30 minutes. So if we go over, I ask them if it's okay. I let them know I have time, but it doesn't happen that often. So 30 minutes is your session length sweet spot, okay? It also means packing too much into a session. Now, in our certified coach training, I teach our students who are learning how to coach, I teach them a really simple 6-part structure for how to lead a 30-minute coaching session in a way that ensures that you end on time and ensures that your clients get amazing results. Now, one of the things that you can do, a tip I want to share on this here today, is plan on only coaching on one thing in that coaching session, okay? And for certain, resist the temptation, resist the urge to give more by bringing up another topic right at the tail end of the session. I used to do that early on in my sessions, and it comes from either a need to be needed or a need to be liked or not feeling good enough, okay? That's where it comes from. And those needs, I'm not going to talk about needs here in this session, in this Facebook Live here, but those needs really don't have any place in your coaching. Okay, as a coach, you really set those needs aside, and you want to be really clean in your coaching in that you're not letting that type of neediness infiltrate the coaching session. So I used to bring up a topic right at the tail end, because I was worried my sessions weren't good enough. It's ridiculous. And I could feel myself doing it, and I think, oh my God, Kendall, just stop, close your mouth. And sometimes I listened to that, a lot of times I didn't, and I just brought it up, and I was always sorry for it. So here's what you're aiming for. Energetically, you want your clients to end their coaching session with you feeling really clear about something, really clear. You want them to feel confident about how they're going to accomplish it, and you want them to be clear on their time frame, okay? Now, you want them leaving a session feeling happy or excited or clear or confident or relieved. You want them feeling empowered in some way. as opposed to feeling overwhelmed because you tried to pack so much into a coaching session. Now, energetically for you, how do you want to leave a coaching session? I know I want to leave feeling complete, like I did a great job here. It's complete, this particular session. I want to feel happy. I want to feel proud of what we accomplished together, and I want to feel proud of my coaching. And I want to feel like it was easy. So I want to leave a coaching session feeling like, wow, that was pretty easy. And yes, it's okay to feel like you could have delivered more, and that's all right. I have that happen all the time. I think, I could have brought up this or that. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay to leave people wanting more. So focus on and get really clear on energetically, how do you want to feel at the end of a session? And energetically, how do you want your clients to feel at the end of a session? All right, tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to batch your coaching sessions inside of your week. Now, I love batching. I batch everything. And what this looks like is not having coaching sessions spread everywhere, like one on a Monday afternoon, one on a Tuesday morning, one on a Wednesday night. That's crazy making. Your calendar is going to be frenetic, and you're not going to ever feel like you have space and time and freedom, which is, of course, goes against one of the beautiful things about being a soulful business coach, is that you get tons of space and time and freedom. So batching means grouping your sessions within a day and within a couple of days within the week. Now, I have the exact calendar. I'd love to share it with you, and I'm happy to do that for free. The calendar template that I made very early on in my business through some stroke of good fortune. I just had a divine download and made this, and it's actually the same template that I use today. So I'm happy to give this to you for free. You can, you're welcome to copy it and use it. Where you can get this is inside of my brand new free training. This is a 45-minute training online. It is 3 simple steps to get started as a soulful business coach for women entrepreneurs. So in this 45-minute training, I'm going to show you you're going to be able to stop guessing, okay? You're going to get my secrets and very, very specific actionable tips on how to coach, on what to coach on, and I give you a list of that as a soulful business coach. I'm going to go through specifically how to price your coaching. And I'm going to show you how to streamline setting up your coaching business. And this is the section where I give you that calendar so that you can see what your week can look like, how little you have to coach to make really tremendous money, significant income. And so what your week can look like, and then each week within the month, what that looks like. And I show it to you 2 different ways. If you're just getting started, what that can look like, which is what mine looked like for a long time, and then what mine looks like now. So it's right on the screen. You can copy it and use it, and it's inside of that free training. So you can go to get that free training. It is at coachtrainingmasterclass.com, coachtrainingmasterclass.com. And I'll also post the link for it down here in the comment below this video. So coachtrainingmasterclass.com. It's a free 45-minute training. All right, so the tips for managing your energy when you're coaching so that you don't burn out. And like I said, I've got more tips I realized I want to share with you, but I'll save them for a different live. So number 1, don't blame yourself if you have a draining client. It happens, but definitely nip it in the bud. This makes you a more powerful coach, and you will end up with clients that you absolutely love. Number 2 is resist the urge to overcoach. By keeping your sessions to just 30 minutes, and also don't only focus on one thing in a session, and please don't add something in at the last minute because you feel this need to over deliver. Just don't do that. And tip number 3 was to batch your coaching sessions within your week, and I give you that exact calendar template of what that can look like. You can get that for free and copy it and use it yourself inside of my brand new free coach training. It's a 45-minute training, so it's really easy to fit into your calendar, into your schedule. And it is 3 simple steps to get started as a soulful business coach for women entrepreneurs. And you can find that. You can click on the link below this video, or you can go to coachtrainingmasterclass.com. All right, I hope you loved this video and found it useful. If you did, press the little like or love button, whatever it is there. And my whole career these days is devoted, truly devoted and dedicated to you creating a lucrative, soulful coaching business that you are 100% in love with. That's what it's all about, right? Having a business you are 100% in love with. That's what I'm here to help you do. So go ahead and jump on that free training with the coachtrainingmasterclass.com, and I will see you soon in our next Facebook Live together. My love and brilliance to you. My love and good thoughts for you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.